How encouraged are you by the success you've had so far? Just there. I mean, Mark said that he's even surprised by how well you've done it this early.
Yeah, we don't grow up together, but it's kind of funny because he even said it. But if you really looked at the track record, Nebraska, we started that pipeline. I was getting kids from Ohio to go to Nebraska. And I knew the closer I got to the state of Ohio, it can be real, real good. So, at the end of the day, but it's a big picture. I bring them here, but then you got to understand it's the people you meet down here, the administration, our support staff, everything goes into recruiting. But when you get them here, and that's what the parents say, at the end of the day, when they leave, if you interview all the parents we got, they will tell you it was the community and how our staff was more like a family, just more like a family. So the answer, I know Coach Stoops ain't surprised, but not being cocky and like that, no, I'm not surprised because of where we from.
What's
We're
your
from
home?
Ohio.
What's your home state?
You understand? Ohio.
No. What's Kentucky's home state recruiting territory? What's their home state?
Oh man, I say Kentucky is their home state, and then Ohio's their second. Yeah, I mean, you just got to look at it. I mean, Tony, I think by year 3 our roster will be probably 40% of Ohio kids. So I think we got right now we got a total of.
We had 22 on this past year.
Yeah, and then we had
And then we're going to add some more.
probably about 9 more this year.
When you look at the reports that you had been speaking to Michigan, how big was it for Mark to keep you here? How much did he emphasize that, and why did you feel the pull to stay here when maybe on the surface fans would understand, but going to coach for Harbaugh, he understood that if he wanted to recruit Ohio, he needed a guy like you.
Yeah.
It seemed like that might.
It was tempting. I have a lot of respect for Jim. I think he's going to do a great job, but there's a lot of other stuff that comes in the picture when family, basically what it came down to me was more relationships, what we doing here. I think people look and see we went 2-10, then we went 5-7, but we easily could have went 8-5. We lost. I thought we should have beat Florida. We should have beat Louisville, and we should have beat Mississippi State. I really believe that, and if you watch the games, you'll see. But we played with a young team. I really believe where we at. And then the hardest part for me was, man, I went in 27 living rooms, 26 living rooms, and just kept playing through my mind was the parents' first interaction, are you going to leave? And a lot of coaches get that question, and they get that question, and a lot of them do it. To me, it was more personal because I'm Ohio, man. I love my state, and we got a lot of these kids here. And then lastly, my relationship with Mark. I've been knowing him for 30 years, so it just played a big part. That played a real big part.
Your connection to Ohio kept you at Kentucky.
Yeah, because
I think we say it out loud. It's kind of.
This is, especially South. You look at, Cincinnati area, Dayton. We get a lot of kids out of there, and a lot of coaches wasn't surprised that I stayed. And if you knew, like my buddies, they was like, sometimes Vince is loyal to a fault, and I wouldn't say this was a fault. This was the right thing to do. I'm very excited where we're going. Very excited.
Would it have been weird to put on the block M?
Now, I will tell you this. My wife graduated from Ohio State, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and they, over Christmas, because it was.
That's when it was.
It was, I was told that was probably going to happen, and the only person I told was, I think I told my brother-in-law, and he had like an attitude, man. they bleed Ohio State.
But did you feel that too, though? Or is it more just a job now?
No, I gotta be honest with you. That's a unique thing, man, because it's Ohio State, Michigan, and I said, hey, it's still a job, but then you think, hey, you do that, you know what that means, and if that would ever happen, I would wonder how my family, how they would have handled that, because I'm telling you, they bleed blue, because I'm here, and they bleed, Ohio State.
That's crazy to think, though, that your job, because I think a lot of people, they get caught up with the rivalry and they do this, but I think they can lose track that a coach has a job.
Yeah.
And that was a job.
And at the end of the day,
and you had to consider how people in your family might react to you wearing Michigan colors.
Oh, yeah, it was. But it wasn't hard to me at the end of the day, because I know where I want to be. But if you play down, you just think in your mind like, wow. I started thinking, and when I was thinking about that I wonder how it's going to go over with my family, because they kind of made it clear on Christmas, It wasn't like, they was excited about it. Like when I was going to take the job at Kentucky, they were excited. They didn't sound like that. So